To sing now B'Yishem is both of Yud Zayin Amid Beis. Vatani. Moidem Chachomim Le'meya B'goyin of Trumas Chaveir of Achla Shaloike Meshalom Shekain Ha'oichel Trumasoi Loike. And this goes with the new Mahalach here. The price goes here. The whole new Mahalach. That even though we know that the Chachomim say in and Loike Meshalom, that's a rule. And you say a new Mahalach. That if it's two things that can come separately, then there is like a mashal. If a person steals trumas chaveira, he goes to a kohen and he eats up his truma. So chaveira, we asked before in a like a mashal. According to this bride says no problem at all. Like since there's malchus can be without a tashluma. For example, if he eats his own truma that is yoyish from aviyim a kohen. So it's shaykh to have malchus without tashluma. That's why he is like we don't say since he can't that the malchus patas from tashlumen because there's sometimes malchus that's itself without tashlumen. So that's why the malchus is not part of tashlumen. I think this brisa sounds more that the ikar adin should be tashlumen. That's what it sounds. And we say that since a certain place there's malchus without tashlumen, so we say the malchus doesn't fall off. That's what the brisa holds. Since a shaykh malchus without tashlumen, for example, when he eats his grandfather's truma, so maybe even when he eats somebody else's truma, the malchus doesn't fall off. So that's according to this, the whole kasha we said yesterday doesn't exist because even chacham amoide that there's no issue by oichel truma b'meized if he eats a truma b'meized, why not? Like a mashal, he could get malchus and pay. Gone of trumas hekdish. It says hakoidish to be hekdish. If he's going of trumas hekdish, ba'achla, same thing. If he got down with trumas hekdish and he ate it, shaloike mashal, shekain, why? Oichel trumas like. If a person eats his own truma, again, same thing. And he gayashnt. So there's no issue of paying for hekdish. He's paying hekdish also, right? He's paying for meila. So there's payment, and there's malchus for the malchus here is for eating truma, and the payment is for hekdish. Let's say he didn't know it was hekdish. He didn't know it belongs to hekdish, so there's meila payment. But the same thing going to chel chaveiroi shleikim v'shama. So now, according to this, we have a whole new set of rules that most of the cases the chacham would be moed to Reb Meir that leikim v'shalom, because if it's shaykh, again, according to this, the rule goes be'etzem there's tashlumen. That should be the ikar. But if you find the malchus without tashlumen, according to this l'chayr by achoisai, same thing. Shaykh malchus of achoisai bebegeres. So even if it's tashlumen, why not? You can get malchus and tashlumen. Tan achoisai chapar shishgavna shachoisai parasoi loike. Same thing. The shaykh malchus without tashlumen. So even when you go to somebody else's para, you hire a para and you choisem, there's malchus and tashlum. Okay. Now, according to this new mahalach, he was asking, Omer Abmanach Me'ab Yasem Ata Ba Ala Choisek Etana, means nar. Yilkev Yeshalom Shekena Ba Ala Choisek Begeres Leite. Is this true? Because Emag Ab Choisek Chal Lo Tashlum Nemisek Achas. So according to this, he's saying a different mahalach. He's saying that no. If it's chal b'bas achas, then there's no way around it. Then we say you don't get both things. But the only reason by a choisem the malchus is not the same time. The tashlumen is chai b'shas mashicha. Kivish chosam is chai b'tash. It's a very schwer lashon here. Schwer lashon. L'chayr is verkehrt. Kivish chosam. Once it's b'shas mashicha is chai. Is chai b'shas mashicha is chai b'tashlumen. Kan ve'edich means b'shas mashicha. Very hard lashon here. Heiser Reb Zir Kim Ramon. Rei Matzis Gedisha Shel Chaveir B'Shabbos. Shabbos Rishon Chayav Nisan Ka'ir Tashlumen. Say the same thing. You only chayav on the first, and the rest you're not chayav in Malkus. The least Omar Kain. Akol Shabbos Rishon B'Shabbos Misa. Kachsima Sima. So the Gemara says no. Oh, so according to this, what do you mean the first? This doesn't work out well. This everything you chayav Misa. The Gemara says this is like a side thing here that the Gemara is going with a new mahalach to explain this din of chasim. But the Gemara falls off. That's why tackle the chachamim you can give both, because it's only the first thing you get malchus and the rest is tashlumen. Different like before. Before we said the reason was because it's two different people. Because it's shaykh to get malchus without. Yeah, that was our mahalach before. And since it's shaykh to get malchus. We said that since there's a way that you get malchus without tashlumen, so mele it doesn't matter. But here the Gemara falls off from this mahalach. So the Gemara says now different mahalach about chasima. What Gemara is focusing only on chasim. Yes, by bin on trainer by the chad on bechoisem betrume bekodishim. Acharana on bechoisem ade shaliach. Shliach loikavu pater. Ein shliach dvar avera. So there can be two mahalchim when there's tashlum. Either bechoisem betrume bekodishim. The fact that there's no malchus. Someone doesn't want to go now with this mahalach that it had already two mahalchim about chasim. The first mahalach was that since it's shaykh, your own one malchus, that Gemara doesn't like that. Gemara says now different mahalach that chasim was the first moment you chayav malchus, also not. I think the third mahalach. When is there malchus? When is there tashlumen? Tashlumen. Question is about tashlumen. When is there tashlumen by chasima? Only when chayis matrum kadishim. There's no lav of chasima, so there's tashlumen. Or at the shliach. Since there's no malchus because shliach dvar avera, so the person has to pay. The one that hired the animal. Okay, now the Gemara goes like this: Shoig v'truma, imezid v'chametz. Shoig v'truma, imezid v'nozer. Shoig v'truma, imezid v'yem kippurim. Im v'truma davar echad nicha. And finish name the vine. Chayk v'yechad v'shlokish. If there's two things to get involved, two averas, there's truma and a chametz. You eat truma from a kohen, but it's also chametz. Or his chayav malchus because of chametz. Shoy v'truma makes it b'nozer. It's wine of truma, but it's also chayav malchus because he's a nozer. Or it's Yom Kippur. So all these places there's malchus and tashlumen. Im tefterina b'dover echad nicha. If it's like one thing, then we know what the halacha is. At what? Loike b'lei meshama. That's what the Bich and Shlokish both agree, that when there's Malkus, real Malkus involved, there's only Malkus to Atashkom. To him, Shnei Devarim, however, if you say that it's considered two separate things, then it's Machloik Bich and Shlokish. It means, we'll see now a new sugya that says if there's two Isurim involved here, two separate Isurim, maybe the whole argument doesn't exist. Maybe you can say it's a Gavna, Loikem Eshala. Two separate Averas that came together. It's not doing it to all these things till now that there's really, it's really one thing. Because stealing somebody's chaylev is really considered like, it's not, so the Averas is chaylev. But here there's two Averas. There's Truma and there's Chometz. It's considered like two separate things. So we could say that in such a case, where there's two separate things, it's not an issue of Loikim Mishalom. We'll see that in the next sugya. It's interesting how the Gemara switches now to a new sugya, that till now, all these things we were talking were not considered Shnei Devarim. Even though you can ask, what do you mean? It's also Shnei Devarim. It's stealing somebody else's money. But I guess since we look at it like that's normal, you eat up somebody else's chaylev is like nothing. You don't look at it like two separate averes. But teruma and chometz, it looks like two separate things. I know it's hard to understand, but this is what's going on here. We're switching now to a new sugya. If it's shnei devarim, there's two separate things. Maybe then it is shaykh. It's not like the svara before. Before we said if it's shaykh to have malchus without tashlum, and that's a very interesting svara. That almost takes care of all the problems. But now we don't agree to that svara. You say only in this particular cases here that Shnei Devarim, we say that you can give both things together. It's a different mahalach. Okay, now this is the end of Yud Zayin on Aleph on the base.